She's scary. Can I just first of all say that looking at that footage, and I think you two could have been done for GBH during your careers, by the way. I've seen strikers going up in the air like 15 feet. Dave, we'll start with you. First of all, we know that you two lads look after the under-21s at Everton now, which is great. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. That's okay. They don't get upset. Dave, going back to your time, you were just saying there too, some of the stories that Gaza had and some of the moments in Belfield, because Belfield was a great place, wasn't it? And what do you remember about those days?
Yeah, you're right there. Belfield was a fantastic place. Obviously, I was brought up there as a 14-year-old, signed YTS, and every day was just brilliant. Some great characters. And we just heard you talking about Gaza there, and we just remembered just listening out there. We were on a pre-season tour in Italy, Walter's famous El Choco, and I think it was Gaza's second or third day, and we're training on the pitch, top of a mountain, beautiful setting, glorious sunny day. Then all of a sudden we just heard this big helicopter comes over, lands on the pitch, but doing our session, Gaza just goes, whoosh, off he goes, runs off. It's Signori from Lazio. Gets in his helicopter, Gaza stops training, off he goes, take off, carries on training. Unbelievable.
I was there that day. I remember we thought we were getting attacked or something, didn't we? But just talk about him for a second, because he was a special character. And at that time, I think, whilst we never enjoyed great success, we had our moments, but the bond of the players was fantastic then, wasn't it?
I think we all felt like brothers to him, father figures to him. His problems are well documented, and we don't have to talk about that tonight. But he was one of the most fascinating characters that all you wanted to do was just look after him. And thankfully, we had a few senior players at that time, and we tried our best. But believe me, it was very, very difficult. But great character. And I have to say, when he came to Everton, he still had the ability. Maybe not the pace, maybe not the fitness, but you could give him the ball at any area of the field, and he would take it, and he never gave it away. And it was a pleasure to play alongside him.
And Al, if I could just pass the mic to you, or Dave can pass the mic to you. Do you remember the time when he brought a parrot into the dressing room? He went into a shop. He lived in Woolton Village, I think, and he went into a shop and bought a parrot. And I remember walking into the training ground, and this is not a question I thought I was going to get from the manager. And he said, "Can you go and get that parrot out of the dressing room?" And I'm thinking, who is he talking about? I thought he meant to one of the players. But he was a special character, and he, in a way, he sort of really livened up the dressing room.
Yeah, because Gaza used to come in, and he had all his sponsors, and he used to come in just tracksuits, t-shirts, pair of trainers, gold watch. Looked like a tramp at times. And then we'd finish training, and Gaza, right lads, I'm off, see ya. And he'd be out in, and we'd go, what's he got on today? And within 5 minutes, shower, he'd have someone else's clothes on, his tracksuit would be on his peg, and he'd be gone. And that was Gaza, and the next day he'd be in, bright and breezy, ready to train again.
You're dead right. I remember one day when I came and spoke to Sue Palmer. She was on reception at the time, and I saw Gaza go out, and he had these nice cord trousers on and a brown jacket. And I said, "Where's he going?" She said, "I have no idea." So I said, "Okay." Walked in the next minute. Alex and Yarko was Alex, he's gone in my clothes. I said, "What? What? Who?" So he said, Gaza, and he was really, really upset, And he'd taken all his clothes, and there was this, pardon the language, but snot-ridden tracksuit left on his peg, which poor Alex and Yarko had to go home in, But he was, you couldn't keep your eye on him. But let's talk about your days. Al, you got the mic. What was the most difficult striker you ever played against in the Premier League?
It's a good question, but it's a really hard question to answer, because, when I look back, and I've been asked this question a lot of times, that I look at myself as being really fortunate that I was had the privilege of playing alongside of Thierry Henry, Robbie Fowler, Alan Shearer, Andy Cole, Van Nistelrooy, and the list goes on. And I think to highlight one player when you look at all them names is very, very difficult, because they're all good in their own ways. You know,
Who was the hardest, Al? Who was the physical hardest?
probably when I was just starting off playing football, the hardest one would have been Justin Fashanu. He just basically, I was 18 and I just started to make me career in football, and he just battered me all game. He bullied me all over the place, scared me to death. Honestly, I'll be honest, I shit myself. You know,
Stop the streaming.
I was 18 and we were playing Wimbledon, and it was in a cup game, and they had Vinnie Jones, they had John Fashanu, they had Laurie Sanchez, they had the other fellow with the headbands around us. Was it Young? Yeah, Eric Young, Mick Harford. You can see why they call the crazy gang. I was 18 kid. I was like that, and I was going up against them, and they're going, "Put it in there, mix it," and I'm thinking, "Oh." You know, so I think that would have to be the hardest. Not necessarily the best, but he was probably the hardest that I come up against.
Thanks, Al. Dave, you had a great moment, didn't you, at Everton when you won the cup? Was that? I mean, surely that was the highlight of your Everton career.
Without a doubt, it was a special moment. It was a special 12 months, 18 months, where we had a brilliant team spirit, some fantastic players. And when Joe Royle came, he just seemed to just flick a switch and gelled it all together overnight, and it resulted in the first game where we beat Liverpool. And it was a wonderful 18 months. Joe left, unfortunately. That's all well documented, and we all felt a little bit aggrieved when he left. And then the team was finished then, and people left, and new manager comes in, and that was that. But brilliant 18 months under Joe Royle, absolutely fantastic.
Now, the both of you